Hey everybody, welcome back to the Triple Take podcast. I am your host, Jacob. With me, as always, is Lance and Zach. How are you guys?
Howdy, howdy. Doing good.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Yeah, he can't keep him away for, well, you can-ish.
But don't worry. I'm here with some hot takes, and I'm here with some good takes. So
All you have to do is mention baseball, and then you have no Lance.
Yes. Honestly, you'd rather be watching Moneyball right now.
Moneyball is a top 3 movie of all time.
And
it's not number 3.
Top 3. So why not say top 2?
Yeah, I got to be honest. I got that movie confused with Dallas Buyers Club. I thought it was the same thing.
I can't believe not even remotely the same. Well, okay. Jared Leto's so far from it. None of the actors are the same.
Speaking of Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We got some crazy news this week. Tron Ares trailer. Unfortunately, it looks phenomenal except for one glaring obvious.
So I've been following, I'm a big fan of Tron. I love Tron. I watched the first movie when I was a kid, and let me explain it this way. I don't like the Beatles as musicians, but I can respect what they've done for music. I don't really like the first Tron, but I can respect what it's done for like CGI and moving the ball forward. Mm-hmm. Tron Legacy was a sleeper movie that no one watched, and I think is just fabulous. It's almost perfect. I love that movie. It's fantastic. And ever since Tron Legacy, there have been murmurs around the internet of Tron 3. And a couple, 2-3 years ago, I heard that Jared Leto was going to be in it and immediately was disappointed.
Yes. Well, we got duped. We were supposed to have Tron 3, and it was going to be Tron Ascension, a direct sequel to Legacy. Yeah. Never got it. Got killed in, some Disney back room somewhere.
Which is frustrating because Tron Legacy ends in such a way that it needs to have a sequel. I mean, at least I think it deserved a sequel.
Yeah, it kind of
they ride off into the sunset, and so you kind of want to pick up on like the Sam and Cora story.
I agree.
And that's what I thought the next one was going to be a little bit about, but it doesn't appear we're getting anything like that.
Well, they mirror the beginning of that movie. In the same way that Star Wars movies rhyme, Tron 1982 rhymes with Legacy, and then also kind of the first and second half of Legacy itself rhymes. Like the big door. I mean, there's lots of things that kind of point back to each other. Yeah. The large door that Sam and Flynn break into at NCOM. Mm-hmm. The fact that they're like thrust into the same, they're thrust under the grid in a very similar fashion, mm-hmm. and they say a lot of the same things. And honestly, the plot is very, very similar. Whereas instead of MCP being the Master Control Program being the bad guy in the first one, you have Clue, who was made by Flynn. Yep. It's very good. For those of you who haven't seen the original, I highly recommend watching that, as I think it enhances the second one. It's by no means good.
I would not at all recommend the first Tron. I do not think it's a good movie, and I do not think it does anything for people now. I think that at a certain time, it was probably a really cool idea and a really cool...
I don't know if I agree with that.
But there is no reason for anybody today to sit down for 2 hours and watch the original Tron. It's a bad movie.
Hear me out. In the same way that if you watched only The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and you kind of enjoyed that you wanted to go read the book, I think that if you really enjoyed Tron Legacy, you could watch the original Tron for additional context.
That's exactly what I did. I think you're looking at it like it's not a good watch. But it is cool.
It's
like
a
I was saying.
Watch.
Okay, it's cool to see the connections and what they built on and what they kind of nitpicked and picked and built upon.
So here's where I think we can agree. I would say that if you want to watch the original Tron after enjoying Tron Legacy, then I think it's a good idea, right? If you want more of the same. But if you are going into it, I do not think you should start with Tron. I think that there is a very high capability that it will turn you completely away from the franchise, as it did for me, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, I have tried to watch the original Tron 3 times, and I will hopefully never try again.
It's definitely backwards in that regard, where I'm not watching the first one and then being like, oh, I want more. I definitely watched Legacy first and then that as complementary kind of mediums.
Well, you kind of know, like, okay, so, like, Rensler in the second movie is Tron, which is in the first movie, so you get a little bit more of, like, that.
Not to be confused with the Rizzler.
Not to be the Rizzler. Anyways, Yeah, 5 big booms
5 big
for
booms.
the Rizzler. So sorry to hear about your brother. Anyways, so I think that Tron 1, like I was saying, is a very difficult watch, and it's really only necessary if you want more Tron.
Mm-hmm.
But don't like be surprised when there's not much of a plot.
Honestly, the whole movie is just traveling and turning an orange into pixels.
There are some cool scenes with like the light tanks.
Okay,
That's it.
so you know those big,
But,
the big like upside down U-shaped things.
Yeah, the what do they call them?
The recognizers.
Recognizers.
Yes, so
Okay.
those are in the original one.
Yeah,
And they look very similar. It's just like honestly, in the same way that we've grown technologically and advanced, the movie and the tech from each other have done the same. So
that's a sleeper answer right there too. So that like Tron 1 was a like masterclass in CGI at the time. Like
light
no
years
one
ahead of
else was doing anything, and I know it looks like absolute dog shit now, but like no one else is doing anything remotely close to it. Back in when did the original Tron come out?
82. So that was right around Star Wars and Empire. So like ILM was definitely doing that stuff. And I'm kind of curious to see. I don't actually know did ILM work on this movie? I would be shocked if they didn't have something to do with it.
I don't know. But I will say that Tron Legacy, there's nothing even remotely close to like how good that CGI is. And it holds up even now.
Oh my gosh, it is so good. It's so good.
The only thing that holds it back is the de-aging of Jeff Bridges' face, and it only falls apart at the mouth, and that's like the quintessential like.
I do have a
that's
mini
where it falls
theory
apart.
about that. So I think they should have waited another like 10 years
to make it,
because it came out in 2010.
no one was really asking for it.
No, if it came out in 2020 and had the same level of effects as like it's definitely in the uncanny valley where it's Jeff Bridges, but like smoothified Jeff Bridges. Like there's no real texture to him. They definitely lean into the filming him in the shadows stuff.
They do.
That way
They do.
But like you kind of forgive the scenes. So I look at it two ways. So Jeff Bridges is Clue.
Mm-hmm.
He's the bad guy in Tron Legacy, right?
Yep.
I can almost forgive the way it looks on the grid with Clue because he's a program.
Yeah, it's meant to be a little bit more animated, anyways.
Yes,
And
yeah.
so like the light cycles and the light discs, everything's all animated. So like it looks a little bit like it belongs more so
It's like rendered tech.
on the grid. But then obviously there's like one scene at the very beginning when he's reading to Sam where he turns it, like you don't really see his face until he turns around.
Honestly, yeah, I wish they would have just
And
never showed his face.
It doesn't look good. I will say I think it looks better than The Irishman, and
I don't know that I agree with that at all.
I think it at least set out to do what they were trying to do. I think in The Irishman they were like, people will believe it. And
Do you think they did like the tracking, like the dots on the face thing, and then just like tracked it over Jeff Bridges, or if he was totally CG?
I think either way it looked bad.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I don't know if it.
I don't think Jeff Bridges at that point was doing his own stunts, so I'm sure it was some amount of placement.
But as far as the new news, Tron Ares does look like it's pushing that like boundary of the CGI, and I'll give them credit. The trailer looks fucking sick.
It does. Well, it's Clue's exact goal,
Yeah.
like realized.
So
Well,
this week's movie that we all watched was Tron Legacy, so we'll get like way more into this here a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point of like Clue is that he wanted to take everything in the grid on the grid and get it into the real world.
yes,
And it would appear that is what's happening in Tron Ares,
which kind of is the yin and yang to Flynn, who like saw the grid as the final frontier.
Yeah.
Whereas Clue saw it quite the opposite. He wants out, Flynn wants in. It rhymes.
So like I think they ended up finding like the ISOs,
Mhm.
isomorphic
The miracle.
algorithms or something.
Yeah.
So with them you could change everything.
Yes.
And getting them out into the real world I think was the point. But no, I am absolutely pumped. I think that it is a extremely risky move to get Jared Leto into this because at some point in the movie he's going to say it's Tron in time, and I'm going to be really disappointed in him.
He's going to turn into a bat.
I will say here once I want to pull up the IMDb on this because
Like it just makes me. I'm excited with a massive grain of salt. I just think that if anything does go wrong, it's going to be whatever they have his character do.
So
I'm just very scared.
We get a couple actors that I'm really excited for. So one, Greta Lee. I like Greta Lee a lot. She was in What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh yeah,
she plays one of the familiars. She is great. Gillian Anderson really can't do any wrong. She's been a solid actress for a long time. We have Evan Peters. Evan Peters is also great.
the man.
He's great. This will be his first acting job since
Dahmer, probably.
Dahmer, and that I'm interested to see.
Well, one
how
of
he
notability.
That's true, but also I've read that Dahmer really fucked him up. I mean,
Yeah.
he was a different person after playing that. And then of course Jeff Bridges. The two choices that I think that are for me going to be the biggest struggle is Jared Leto, obviously, and then Cameron Monaghan, who I got to be honest, that last couple seasons of Shameless, his character just annoyed the shit out of me so much.
I'm so far removed from Shameless now. He's Cal Kestis. He's the man.
I don't know. I love Shameless, and I hate his character towards the end. The whole gay Jesus vibe. I just thought that was just.
I liked when he was an EMT.
Annoying, yeah. Just like, anyways, I didn't like that whole part, and then I couldn't play the Jedi game. I was like, no, it's not going to do it.
Sounds like you're just allergic to fun. Okay.
Or just I like good video games, but it's fine.
What an absurd take.
Oh, also, Arturo Castro was in one season of Silicon Valley.
I gotta look him up. I love Silicon Valley.
Yeah, he plays towards the very end the super duper rich guy who has made all his money on the blood diamonds. Offers Richard a bunch of money.
He looks like a frog.
Yeah.
That's a frog guy.
Yeah, he looks like he would play Kermit, the voice of Kermit.
He's like a
immortalized.
Yeah, and I agree.
But no, I'm really excited for, I would say, 80% of this movie and who they chose to play the pieces. And then there's a couple choices that I don't know. But I loved watching the light cycle rip apart the cop car.
Yeah, in real life.
That looked incredible.
That guy might be dead.
That guy, no, I think.
Did it split him right down the middle?
It split the exact car down the middle, and then the two cops were like in either side. Just whoopsies. And then
that's a classic whoopsie poopsies.
The little U ship. What did you call it? The
recognizer.
The recognizer.
Mm-hmm.
That looked so good.
It does.
And
they're shooting at it with like F-22s. Anyway, we're taking too long on this one. Yeah,
we're excited. I don't know if you can tell.
Yes, blood is boiling over here in a good way.
Couple of nerds over here.
So we get a lot of honestly mixed feelings about the box office this weekend. The Minecraft movie made $1 zillion, and I'm very, very good for them, I guess, but also I think it was kind of a meme success.
Yeah, I don't.
You see what people are doing to theaters? Have you seen that stuff?
Throwing popcorn.
They're throwing popcorn and like
chicken jockey.
Yeah, they're.
I think it's for the memes. All right. I mean, like at this point, like no one's actually enjoying that.
I don't know. I'm shocked that it hasn't happened sooner. Like I'm shocked they didn't make a Minecraft movie earlier than this.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm just.
Do you know how many autistic kids play Minecraft? All of them, and there's a lot of us out there, guys.
I totally agree.
I'm shocked that we don't have this movie to begin with.
Did you see what the Warner Brothers? Go ahead, Lance. Sorry,
I was going to say I think that a lot of people are making it into a meme, but they did a lot of things to like get people to want to watch it, right? Like they brought in, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a big Minecrafter that died.
So they had a little
they had like
little
a
Easter egg for him.
Mm-hmm. Like they had just all these things. They had, whether it was an accident or not, they had the White Eyes Zombie, which is the Herobrine thing. I don't know. I'm not big on Minecraft, but like, so they did a lot of fan service things to get people to enjoy the movie, like hints to things that aren't even like actually a part of the movie or actually a part of the game. So like they did these things to bring in people and to be like, yes, that's exactly, you know what I mean? Like
I also don't think you can go wrong with Jason Momoa and Jack Black. I feel like that's kind of a winning combo.
They're to me, they're right up there with The Rock. Like they are cheese factor off the charts for me. Like
Jack Black for sure does that for me.
Yeah.
Like I just
honestly, he's kind of on the Will Ferrell wayside for me as well. Like I don't really like anything anymore that Will Ferrell is in, and I just find Jack Black incredibly annoying.
I can't name a single Jack Black movie that I enjoy
besides Kung Fu Panda. I love Kung Fu Panda.
School of Rock, really?
I do like School of Rock. Like that's unfortunate. Shout out Mike White, White Lotus, also in School of Rock.
Also, Jack Black was in Borderlands.
I didn't watch that either. I heard it
nobody
was
saw.
terrible. Yeah.
Nobody watched that
Borderlands
movie.
in theaters.
I think you called me afterwards and were like, "Do not watch this movie."
I'm not shocked by the Disney adult sitting next to me that he went and saw Borderlands.
But anyway, like Minecraft made $160 million domestic.
Yeah.
This is a video game adaptation, and not a good one at that.
No.
And it made $160 million.
Obliterated Snow White.
Oh my gosh. And I think it ended the weekend, 313.7 million global. That's kind of insane.
Not bad. I don't know what the budget was for it.
I can't imagine it was far off from that.
I don't know the budget was for it.
They probably filmed the whole thing on the Void or whatever.
I think you have I think you've got 2 or 3 different people that are going to see this movie. One, you've got the parents that are bringing the 12-year-old and all their friends because they play Minecraft.
Yes, who have no idea what they're in store for.
No idea what they're in store for. And then you have the, 23 to 27-year-olds that are probably just going to make fun of this fucking thing.
I have to correct myself. They have no idea what they have in store for themselves. That bothered me, the way we said that.
The parents or the kids?
The parents.
Or both?
I think the parents, the kid, I don't know. I think 13 and under have no idea what they're watching.
And then you have
are they even sentient at that age?
A small group of kids that went to just throw popcorn at the screen.
Oh my gosh. I think there's a small percentage of adults that went to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I could, hey, it's a good time.
I don't know.
Toss some popcorn.
There was one scene that I think I find it funny, probably for the unintentional reasons, where they're putting their hands in at the end, like they're going to go fight the Ender Dragon or something like that. And they're like, well, there was no time. And they just run. And it's like, that ick.
Ick.
Bad.
Yeah.
But it's smart. Not necessarily that, but it's smart not bringing in all those things. Like the Ender Dragon, none of that ever comes in on the movie. Right? Am I right?
No, I think the Ender Dragon is in the movie.
Okay. So from what I heard,
I saw some set photos where it was.
I thought.
Oh, could be.
I guess I've never seen it, but if it's not, that's smart because they laid out things that they can do in the future, right?
I guess so. Well, I mean, they've already greenlit the second one, I believe. As of today, we're recording this on Wednesday the 9th.
Shocked it wasn't greenlit already.
The Warner Brothers execs were clearly the success of this movie was because of good writing and good people, good creatives behind this, and that's just fucking not true. What are they smoking?
Here's where I will disagree just a little bit. I think that it's a little bit refreshing to see so you have, we've all seen the reels of this, but Jason Momoa and Jack Black together looked like they just had a fucking blast filming this movie. All the interviews they were doing,
they have a great time.
They sold the shit out of this movie when they were doing the interviews for it.
They 100% did.
And so it's a little bit refreshing going from just clearly the cast members don't like each other to you have Jason Momoa and Jack Black who have just a lot of good synergy, and they're just there they're a couple of bros being fucking dudes.
Just guys being dudes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was a little bit refreshing. I don't know. I think that's part of it. That's part of what sold it.
I agree. I have to agree with that. In other news, we have some streaming updates here. Not streaming. I'm sorry. We had some pretty big casting news today. Robert Pattinson signed on as potentially Scytale from Dune 3, Dune Messiah, the next installment of Dune. Lancey, you seem to think that that's going to have something that's going to have bad ramifications for the Batman Part 2.
Yeah, so, first let me talk. I think Robert Pattinson will do great as Scytale, I don't know. Who knows how to pronounce it? It's only been in book form. But I think he'll do great. He'll be very mysterious. He shows off as a very mysterious, very sneaky kind of guy. So I think he'll fit well in that role. But yeah, anyways, what does this mean for Batman? Batman came out in 2021, so we're already 3 years removed. And now he's signed on for a movie that's guaranteed to come out next year, 2 years from now. When is he going to do the Batman?
Are we for sure that the Batman 2 is happening?
It was announced, but
Matt Reeves has a script, and they're heavily into pre-production.
Batman 2 is getting canceled. I mean, it makes sense, too. Think about it. The first movie came out when the DCEU was still a thing, and now that James Gunn and the universe...
It's so well received. It made a ton of money.
I would that actually does make a lot of sense. If James Gunn wanted to cancel the Batman 2 so that he could cast his own Batman and then bring him into his universe, it might make sense that he would kill the Batman 2.
I don't think if he does that, I don't think he brings in Robert Pattinson though.
No, I think
he gets his own guy.
I think they're finally realizing that all of this Elseworld things that they're bringing in just doesn't work. Like all of these, it's a different universe, but it's too confusing. There's 3 Jokers at a time. Like it will not work for DC, and they're realizing that. And James Gunn,
I do understand to an extent.
Christopher Reeves and the Batman out. And whether we've got the confirmation
Christopher Reeves is Superman. It's Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves, not Christopher Reeves. They're pushing Matt Reeves off to the side and, moving on with their own things. Especially, I think they're waiting to announce it to see how the Superman does. Yeah. If the Superman movie does well, the Batman 2 will be canceled in favor of a new Batman.
100%.
And honestly, I think it's a good move. It's a good move.
I think it's unfortunate, but probably a good move for what the DCU needs.
We're never gonna get another detective Batman. Then that's for that exact reason. It was not tied to anything else. It was like year one Batman. It was so good. I loved the.
That is
gritty...
one thing that we've never really seen is that like Batman is the world's best detective, and no movie has really done a great job other than the Batman at showing that.
But how? You are super into movies, right? My wife doesn't watch a whole lot of movies. She goes, there's a new Batman, but that's not what Batman looks like, right? There's never been, it's too confusing for the
What do you mean that's not what Batman looks like?
Because she was anticipating Ben Affleck. And when she got Robert Pattinson, she didn't know what was going on, where this took place. Like, it's
I think ultimately, though, I think you're overlooking the fact that Warner Brothers wants to make money. I think they'll put it. Whether that happens or not, I still think they put it out and continue the Reeves storyline because I think it's going to make them a shit ton of money.
I think it's too confusing. I mean, imagine that Marvel wanted to have a standalone Iron Man movie and then didn't cast Robert Downey as Iron Man when the Avengers and everything was happening.
I think they're so deep. They're in so deep with how confusing it is now. I don't know. Maybe it's just wishful thinking because the first one was so good, and I want to see more of him. It's just unfortunate that's.
I've watched it an ungodly amount of times. It is a really good movie.
So good.
But I think you also have to, we're no longer we're kind of coming down from that Batman hype, right? Like it was a great movie, but it's been 3 years, and we still don't have any dates of shooting. Like we're at least 2 years out from the movie actually coming out. By then, we're in 2027. Like that's 6 years away.
I do agree.
All of that is it's just too late.
It absolutely has been plagued with delays and all that good stuff, unfortunately. But I don't know. The movie lover in me and the wanting to see more phenomenal cinematography out of a superhero movie, I'm able to forgive a longer wait, and I don't know. You're convincing. I don't know that I'm ever going to see it.
Cancel the Batman. Give us the Gunniverse.
I think that's probably the best thing for the.
No, God.
Unfortunately, that's probably the best thing for the DCU. However, we did mention Superman. Did you guys watch the Superman trailer? I assume you guys all did.
Which one are you referring to? The new trailer, or you're talking about the 5-minute extended thing that they will put out?
The one where he's getting shown the sun to fix.
Yeah, that was cringe off the charts.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the trailer was dog shit.
So it was a sneak peek.
Yeah,
it's a 5-minute clip. There are just some things we've argued it before. It's okay to break rules, so long as you haven't already made the rules in the universe. Like if you're gonna go out of your way and make all these sort of for lack of a better term, in universe rules, don't break them. Yeah. Like they immediately in one scene that happens. Those robots are taking him into the Fortress of Solitude, and the one is like, oh, you don't have to thank us or something. We're
animatrons. We have no, whatever.
And then he looks at the other one, and she blushes and said, "Oh my God, he looked at me." Like in 4 seconds, contradicts itself. It's infuriating. It just feels like no attention to detail.
I saw a clip, and so I was trying to reason this because it looks like he's in absolute agony when they're flashing the sun at him through the magnifying glasses, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe it's because like the magnifying glasses intensify. It clearly isn't. It's intensifying the sun rays and then fixing him. But also,
I looked at that as in
it
like you're getting a
wasn't
shot.
that long ago that Superman, he flew into the sun. I don't know. I forget what actor it was.
I think it returns, I believe.
Yeah, he flew into the sun. Didn't hurt him at all. Fixed his ass immediately, and he flew right back.
Here's the problem with Superman in general, right? As a comic book character, as a superhero character, he has essentially one weakness, and that's kryptonite. That's his kryptonite, right? And so that's why in the previous films he was going into the sun doing these things, but that doesn't make good TV. If that's the only thing that you can possibly die from, if that's the only thing that can harm you in any way, so they have to kind of break these rules and change things and advance the character. Otherwise, we just don't care about Superman. Like,
Well, I mean,
Superman in the last universe, his biggest problem was he wasn't interesting, and that was because he didn't have any flaws. No one wants to watch somebody on screen who has no flaws. You have to find this balance of, yes, he's a superhero, but we can still see ourselves in him. You know what I mean?
I
That's the
disagree.
problem with the character, though. But that's what I liked about Henry Cavill's. The only good thing about the Zack Snyder's extended like was that you get to see him essentially turning evil and going to dark side. That's the only way that character becomes interesting. It's a problem with the character. They overpowered the shit out of him, made him the perfect superhero, and then now we're left with like, how do we make this character watchable on screen?
I mean, he's like, I think they've mentioned it. I mean, Marvel characters are like normal people turned gods, and DC characters are gods among men.
Yeah.
And I feel like you do kind of run out of relatable storylines whenever you go that DC route. Things are just generally less interesting, with the exception of Man of Steel. I think a lot of the internal struggles that he has with being good and making the good decisions all the time, I think that for me was good enough. I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to this new one.
I think what it comes down to is, you said it well, right? Like, Marvel, you get to see bad guys become good, which is what people want to do. Where DC, the only real thing that they can do to make things interesting is a good guy go bad. And that's just not something enjoyable for a majority of people to watch, right? Especially over and over and over. Now, once or twice, sure. But when you see it movie after movie, hey, this guy has to turn bad. This hero that you love, that you've already seen as a good guy, they have to turn bad because they have no other weaknesses, no other flaws. Like, it's a pattern that gets tiring quickly, right?
Well, you want your characters to have flaws so that
that's relatable.
Yeah.
So it's like the human condition.
Ah. Yes.
Write it down, folks.
Write it
mean,
down.
I think to kind of sum it up, the Superman is literally he's essentially the perfect person, and there's just not a lot of interesting things you can do with that, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I mean they did it with Omni-Man in I don't know if you guys have watched any of that Invincible, but they did it with Omni-Man at the very beginning. I mean he murders everybody else right off the rip, and he's
Bad guy,
the perfect Superman figure too.
Mm-hmm. I'm not got on that. I watched the first episode, didn't really get into it. Should I get back?
I think I watched the first season. I wouldn't. It's fine if you like animated stuff. It's fine.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's not like a must watch. Some people would argue with me. Probably it's fine.
Might take a look at it.
It's fine.
Might check it out.
It's no Tron Legacy, but it's fine.
In some streaming news, moving on. Last of Us got renewed for season 3. This is coming right before season 2 is set to air next week. So, I mean, no surprise there.
No.
I am kind of interested to see how this new season plays out. Because honestly, a third season was kind of a shock to me. I knew they were going to stretch the second game out a little bit more, the storyline from Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, I guess not much to elaborate on, right?
Is the full season 2 out right now?
No, season 2 comes out
Oh, so
weekly in a week.
So they approved it before it even launched. That's okay. That's cool.
You're watching season 1 right now, right?
Yes, I am, but I wanted to say I am enjoying season 1 for sure. I do think more interesting than the actual news that we got was that there's no mention, no hinting, nothing towards this being the last season.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if things go well, if season 2 and season 3 are as successful, more successful possibly than season 1, I think there's a good chance that we're going to go past the games and they're going to start telling their own story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do have more confidence in that than I do when it happened with Game of Thrones, right? They kind of fumbled around, ran out of things.
They wanted to shoot Star Wars.
Yeah, they wanted to get to Star Wars. That's why Game of Thrones suffered.
Well, so long as these guys don't want to shoot a Star Wars, maybe we should be fine.
I have a feeling with The Last of Us, they're going to milk it dry.
Yeah. So I do have that confidence that because of the things that they've changed from the games.
See, I don't think
it's
that's
been
necessarily a
even
bad
better.
thing.
Yeah, the things that they've changed, the things that they've added have been the best parts of the
For those who
TV show
haven't
so far.
played the games, part 2 was very split on whether it was good. There was a lot of controversial things that happened pretty early in the game, actually. And I'm really interested. Without getting spoilery, I am very, very excited for the first couple episodes of this next season to kind of see what they're going to do. I think they're kind of hinting at going away from one of the big deaths that they did in the game.
That it's happening, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. I think for people continuing to get paid that are high-profile actors, I think that in that sense, they'll probably continue.
I mean, now, a lot of times, if it's based off of a book like Game of Thrones, for instance, the Bronn character, he died in early on in the books, but then he tested really, really high in focus groups.
He's so great.
And they kept him until the very, very end.
Bronn of Blackwater?
Yeah, Sir Bronn of the Blackwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great character, so they kept him around. So I think that if they make if they make a change, I haven't played the games, so if they make a change like that, it's got to be because he's testing super high.
Yeah. I mean, Pedro Pascal is just in freaking everything right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's kind of calmed down since Wonder Woman.
He's in
No? Am I
Fantastic Four coming out.
Oh, I guess that's true.
That's his huge one that's coming.
That's his big one. But that's really The Last of Us and Fantastic Four. He's for a minute there, he was in literally everything.
Two of the largest, production company
movie and TV.
Yeah, I think he's riding pretty high right now.
He's doing fine.
He's doing all right. He's if he has student loans, I hope that they're paid off.
Well, and I mean, you didn't mention The Mandalorian, but there's a movie of that coming out as well. So
we don't need to mention The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, he'll just voice over that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excuse me.
So, what did you guys watch this week?
You know, this was a very light week for me. Work has been busy, and I wasn't home for most of the week. So, I am almost done with season 1 of Andor. Andor has reignited my love for Star Wars.
Good. In the best way.
It is so good. If you haven't watched Andor, watch Andor.
What are you on right now?
It's incredible. Episode 7.
Oh, you're wait, is that
They just pulled off the heist.
Yep.
It is getting real juicy. Also, Waif from Game of Thrones is in Andor. She plays I forget her name.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Waif, which is one of the faceless men. She's in Andor.
It's Mon Mothma's cousin.
Yeah, kind of cool. But yeah, you give me a Skarsgård, you give me more Cassian, I'm gonna watch it. I like it. Golden Great.
You need some more cousin too. It's got our guy from The Bear and Fantastic Four to be coming out.
Well,
he's also Micro from the first season of Punisher.
I know. Sorry, I did finish the.
Didn't know that, did you?
I did not.
They finished the heist. I know what happens to the cousin, so we're good there.
Okay,
it's fine. To be fair, though, he did kind of say some bullshit to Cassian, so I get it.
He was kind of a twat towards the end there.
He kind of was a twat. I think Cassian's his blaster gun, when it reloads, the barrel flops.
Mm-hmm.
That's accurate to like some of the lore stuff. That's really cool.
It is sick.
They got that blaster in there. I think it's super cool. Andor is one of those shows where like if you are like super big into like nerdy Star Wars stuff, they're not going to just put in your face, but like there are little things all sprinkled throughout that.
Luthen's shop with all the stuff in the background. Man, it's like a kid in a candy store.
There's so many cool little things there. So yeah, on to Andor. I will finish up before season 2, and then I will be real into season 2. And then I watched Tron Legacy twice this last week.
An appropriate amount of times. I watched The Last of Us. I finished it off for my rewatch in prep for season 2. Gosh, that last episode gets me every time. This is the third time I've watched, and it's
The Last of Us.
Yes, you need to watch it. I'm ashamed. People on TikTok roasted you for not finishing it.
Did they really?
They did. They were like, "What?" You said
You're wrong.
You said that you stopped on episode 4, and they're like, "What an episode to stop on." And I was like, "I agree."
Episode 6.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, Senior Christmas got his head pulled off.
That's actually the episode that I'm on. So
Okay,
if we could.
Oh, my bad.
It's not. His head's attached.
Whoops, his head's still 100% attached right now. My bad. Anyways.
I also watched Tron, of course, Tron Legacy. I mentioned that already. Both, one significantly better than the other. Freaking love that soundtrack. I watched the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones because you watched that a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I'm going to give that another go. And
it holds up.
I don't know, for some reason, it's by far the worst of the prequels.
Yep.
Attack of the Clones is one of my most rewatched Star Wars movies.
Attack of the Clones, I think it got the most trash on it, but it's arguably my second favorite of the prequels.
Anakin is just so whiny in that, man.
He is.
It's just.
But you get to
off
see
the charts.
the Jedi like actually being generals and fighting, and like there's a Mace Windu cool.
Well, they
scene
kind of they stumble upon being military generals.
Yeah,
like they're just like, we have no training in this. That's one of the biggest plot holes for me. That it doesn't necessarily take me out of it, but I notice it every time. It's like, how are you guys so organized all of a sudden?
I don't know. Phantom Menace, that the Duel of Fates is just so badass.
Yeah, so good.
I love it. I will watch it over and over again. I don't think the acting was the absolute best in it, but it's a Star Wars movie.
I noticed a really annoying cut in the Phantom Menace, actually in the Duel of Fates sequence. So whenever Qui-Gon gets stabbed in the stomach, Darth Maul like rips the blade back out, and then he like stumbles and then falls, and his right arm flops down, and he's very clearly dead at that point. But then it cuts to like a medium shot right after that. So it's a wide shot showing him getting stabbed.
Yeah.
It shows his face close up. He rips. Yes, he goes He's like, I got stabbed. Yeah, that's probably the face I would make.
Mm-hmm.
And then his other arm. It's just like a continuity issue. Like it's definitely they pieced together a couple takes, and it bothered me.
Well, they needed to show Obi-Wan screaming.
Yes.
So here's a thing that
So probably what I would do if my Jedi dad got killed.
What I don't love that Disney has done with Star Wars is they took away all of the finality of death. So in Ahsoka and in the Obi-Wan series,
Rise of Skywalker.
if you get Rise of Skywalker, if you get stabbed with a lightsaber now, no big deal. You're in the hospital for a couple days. You're good. Don't even worry about it. Back then, though, you stab Qui-Gon through the chest with a lightsaber. He's dead.
I agree but disagree because I think Qui-Gon got stabbed right through the spine. Like he's done.
Darth Vader stabbed what's-her-face right through the chest, and she lived.
She got stabbed in the appendix, I believe, actually.
You're going to die.
I agree. But they cop out.
Reva, that's her name. Reva.
Yeah.
Reva sucks.
Worst character in the franchise.
She's a bad character. You're going to bide your time. You're going to bide your time.
So my problem with lightsabers, my problem with Star Wars deaths in general, is they use the cauterization as a crutch way too much.
Yep.
Like, it's not like, it's cauterizing a wound. I'm not a trauma doctor, but I'm fairly certain you're still going to die if you got a big laser hole in you. Yeah. Am I wrong? Like, is that...
I've never tested it myself, but I'm pretty sure that I would die.
I feel like you would die.
If you shot a laser beam through me, I'd probably perish.
Yes.
But no, my problem with, and not to get off on a tangent too much about Obi-Wan, the show here, but you have a character named Reva McEntire, I think is what her technical name is.
Yes, she owns a bar.
Yes, she bides her time and wants to get on Darth Vader's good graces because she wants to kill him, right?
Because she's mad.
And she's real mad, and she waits and waits and waits till the perfect time, and then her whole plan is to just stab him in the back. kind of, and she screams while she's doing it. Ah.
Yeah, not a good scream.
Anyways, terrible.
Yeah,
but
so
you've taken away all the finality out of dying because it's fine now. Don't worry, you can live through us.
Honestly, it's in the same way that Marvel characters, like, you always have to second guess whether they're truly dead or not.
Yeah, there's no stakes
because they can just bring in.
They could just bring them back.
Yep. That's why they never.
Not in the same way. So, like, the plot device is different, but I agree with you. The word is perfect. There's just no finality.
Yeah, if there's no stakes, why am I watching?
Yeah.
If there's no sizzle, you know, what's the point?
Mm-hmm. I also, to wrap it up here, I watched the White Lotus finale, which, honestly, of the 3 seasons I've seen so far, the worst of the 3. Not great. Season 2 is still a standout for me. I love that show. I highly recommend you both to watch that. There's a lot of genitals, a lot of genitalia. So if you're not cool with that, don't. It's a little shocking at times, but it's an HBO show, so you kind of got to expect that.
I'm going to get into it. I keep saying I'm going to watch it. I've tried.
I also watched There Will Be Blood, and that is phenomenal. We have the poster right here because it's a great movie.
A good movie.
I'll drink up your milkshake.
Such a good movie. One of the best ending scenes.
It's so good.
But I have a question. So season 3 of The White Lotus, Sam Rockwell is one of my favorite actors.
Yes.
Is he only in the one episode?
It's Hammer Time. He's in the last 3 episodes.
Okay.
So he comes in as Walton Goggins' friend that meets him. This one takes place in Thailand.
Fair enough, yeah.
And
which makes sense because that's why Lisa's there.
So they go to Bangkok, and that's where Sam Rockwell shows up.
Cool.
And he has a very memorable monologue.
Yep. And
Walton Goggins sits there in shock, and rightfully so.
I watched the reel of it before I realized it was The White Lotus.
Yeah,
and I was like, "What is?"
If you're not watching it, it's not out of place. But if you don't watch it, or if you are watching it, it's fine. You're like, oh, this makes sense. This is the kind of stuff we are used to. If you haven't seen it, it's like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, it was good. I liked it, except for the very end, which sucked. So I take it back. I didn't like it.
I've been watching a lot of catching up. Severance, I'm all caught up with.
Ooh.
How do you feel about? So did you read my article that I posted about like the? No. Anyways,
did you read my article about the goats?
Also no.
Okay, here's what I want to know.
Okay.
Give me a season 2, 1 through 10 ranking.
You guys aren't gonna like this.
Oh God.
So season 1.
Yep.
Give a 7. Season 2.
Big IGN guy over here.
I give a 6. I just don't think it's
what.
It's fine. It's good. I would go. Okay, I'll go.
Explain yourself.
I'll go 8 and 7. I'll go 8 and 7. Final answer.
Okay. Wow.
What did you think about?
I don't like that it took peer pressure to change that.
It's
absolutely crazy.
Can I be honest? Did you finish watching it after you moved?
No.
So you were pre-moved for all this?
Yeah.
What the hell?
What?
Yeah, I really think you're.
You think it was like a distraction? Was that what you're?
No, see, I'm like definitely.
I'm
definitely in the boat sometimes. Like if something is too popular, it's almost a deterrent for me to watch it. This is one of the few things that I almost wholeheartedly agree with everyone else. Like the show's just so good.
The acting is great.
What's your issue with it? That holds it back from being like a 9 or a 10.
Are you upset that you have to think about it?
No, I don't even think it's like thinking. I think it's just
he wants more animated Disney stuff in it.
Like
he's just watching through. He's like, where are the animated
I want
characters?
to know why it's happening, but I don't think that I care that much. That I'll care that much when I find out. Does that make sense? Like it's
okay.
It's sort of interesting. It's intriguing, but I don't think that I care all that much what is actually happening. Like the story is good, the plot of the characters is good, but the overarching like mystery, I'm just not that into.
What did you think about the Gemma episode where it shows you the before, middle, and after?
The flashback.
Yeah. So I don't honestly like. Okay, I don't know the actress, but she's not my favorite. It was interesting to see so I'm interested to see why they were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just go back to I don't care that much. I'm sure that it has something to do.
Will
with,
you continue in season 3?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
You'll watch it? Okay.
Especially because we have a podcast where we do movies and TV.
We do.
Like, I mean, it's kind of like
We have a podcast?
I need to watch it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It's not like I said, it's not. I didn't hate it, but I'm not like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like.
It's still a passing
It's
grade.
8:00. I'm gonna throw a giant party to have everyone come watch on my brand new 85-inch Hisense U85.
I thought that was a
TV.
dig at first,
Yeah,
but
that-
actually he's just talking about his fucking TV.
Because we did that.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Actually?
Yeah, we had a party at his
yeah.
lady's house.
Was not meant to be a dig.
Yeah.
That was just meant to be like
You son of a bitch.
That was just meant to be like I'm not.
All right.
It's
well,
not
then,
that. It's not that
Podcast
show for
over.
me. Like it's not like a Game of Thrones season finale. It's not like.
Well, then what did
it's
you
good.
think about the
No,
season 2 finale?
I know why he didn't like it. I don't mean to hijack
It
you
didn't
here.
have The Rock in it.
No, he didn't like it because it wasn't C. He did not like it because it wasn't sci-fi enough for him. It didn't have enough flying scaled creatures.
I would argue this is one of the most sci-fi.
Yeah, but
things on
in a
TV
different it's not the traditional
Like,
sci-fi.
Here's
though.
what I would say. Here's what I would say though. Like I like the. I've only seen the first 2 episodes of Studio. Much more intrigued by that. Daredevil. Much more intrigued by
What?
that. Last of Us. Much more intrigued by that. Like there's just so many
Actually,
things on TV that I enjoy more.
Honestly, I said it as a joke, but it may be true. I think he just doesn't like thinking.
I was interested in what you thought about the studio because I watched the first 2 episodes as well. I think that the pacing is a little bit too fast.
So
They're always in the move.
first episode to me, really good.
Mhm.
Loved the first episode. Yes, they were moving, but I think it's capturing that hectic show business. You know what I mean? Like that's what
It's definitely intentional.
Yeah, and then episode 2, I honestly wasn't a big fan of it until I rewatched it after learning. I didn't even realize through the first watch through, it was all one take. The entire episode was one take.
No shit.
They never stopped filming it.
All right, there's creative cuts though.
Right, but like they never stopped filming. Like there's cutaways, but the camera keeps rolling. Like it's the same camera the whole time.
Right.
So like I thought to me that's just a super impressive way to do things. And it
I think
was
it's
kind of
pretty cool.
and it was like within the they were doing the same thing within the episode, so it was kind of I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just think that like it's not bad or anything. I'm going to continue watching it. I just thought that it was like it was just really, really fast paced. So you kind of have to really pay attention.
Yeah, you got to be paying attention for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like
everyone's on coke and they're going a mile a minute.
yeah.
That's
That
kind
fast.
of yeah. They're going quick.
I like that the clip where Ron Howard throws his hat at Seth Rogen and he like falls over very theatrically, if that is the right word. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He like chucks it and he just like falls over like a tray of food or something. I don't know. It's funny.
Yeah.
Also like Ron Howard.
Who doesn't like Ron
Yeah,
Howard?
it's
He
also-
saved Solo.
It's just
Yeah.
fun to see like different, like Martin Scorsese was in it. You know, it's just cool to see like a bunch of famous people.
Marty
as
Score?
themselves.
This
So,
this show does have literally everybody in it.
mhm.
I think
Absolutely.
when we first talked about it, I think that was in the notes. Is just
Yeah.
like cast entire Hollywood.
All of Hollywood. I think at some point Apple probably just opened up their purse and they were like, anyways,
It's more like Seth Rogen gave weed to all these people and they owed him a favor.
it kind of does feel like there's so many people in there that they just like started filming downtown Hollywood and they're like, well,
Who do we got?
we got all you guys here anyways. We're filming an episode of a television show. Let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, so you think Severance is okay and
No, Severance is good. It's good. 100% is good.
'Kay.
So for me, the scale goes 10 is perfect,
Mhm.
9 is superb, 8 is great, 7 is good.
'Kay.
So first season, great. Second season, good.
because for me, a C is an Asian F.
I think one of the main
You know?
I think one of the main problems for me in season 2 is that there were a bunch of questions that we still had in season 1 that we didn't even begin to like uncover. Like there wasn't enough uncovering for me.
I was worried in season 1 that we weren't. Yeah, I thought they were just going to keep adding more and more mysteries and never like answer the questions.
Yeah.
So when they started actually answering things, it was like, okay, we got that.
Mhm,
But then they give something else that's a little bit of a mystery.
Well, one of my biggest pet peeves with really any television or movie show, whatever, is when the entire plot is propped upon two people not communicating.
Yeah.
And you don't really get that, with the exception of why the fuck did Petey go to Mark and not like anybody else?
Well, that's the thing is I don't know. We don't really know that because Irving was definitely talking to somebody at that payphone.
Oh, you're right.
And he was like,
Could it
he
have
said,
been Petey?
He said, "Hey, I know you're not answering, or I got your voicemail again." So like he's talking to somebody, and whether that was Petey, he doesn't know Petey's dead, or it was Ragabi or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to someone. So there's still some mystery.
I want more of Ragabi.
I'm here. Yeah, give me more.
I want to defend one more thing that I think
Put your dukes up.
bothers me, or not bothers me as much as scares me, right? We've seen a lot of these shows, not to this quality, obviously, but like
What do you mean these shows?
like these mystery solving like shows.
I guess
like,
so.
Not they're not always great, but like a couple off the top of my head is like Lost, and then I don't know if you guys seen either the CBS Stephen King shows like Under the Dome or Zoo. Like,
Oh, there's a kind of cloud of confusion over everybody.
right, like there's just a bunch of questions that you're trying to answer as a watcher, and all of those shows never answered those questions.
Well, I think that
like, it's very rare that shows like this actually hit the mark when it's all said and done.
I mean, you have to admit, though, this one at least feels different.
It feels much more figured out, right? But I would like to, if we're going to go down this path, I think that they should have. I would have liked to have heard, oh, this is definitely going to be 5 seasons, or you know what I mean? Because the problem with all of those shows is they overstayed their welcome, and then they didn't know how to.
they definitely. I
it.
feel like they know where the show is going to end with Succession. I think that, or with Severance. I think that, like Lost, for instance, I don't think they knew where they were going at the beginning. I think they thought they were going to get canceled. Because, to be fair, Lost was like the first TV show that was on primetime that had like a movie budget.
Network television.
It changed TV, right? For better or for worse, whether you like Lost or not, it changed television.
Thank you, J.J. Abrams.
I mean, they flew in a jet's fuselage on the first episode. Like, they took a huge risk, and I don't think that anyone thought that show was going to go the distance. Well, I think we all thought that, it's never going to make the money that it needs, so they're going to cancel it. Then they never actually answered. They didn't. Well, they answered some questions, but they didn't. There's a lot of things left uncovered, and you're never going to make anybody
And they answered
always
it
happy.
poorly, though.
Sometimes I do think that's intentional. I don't know if Lost was intentional. I think they got lost. The networks get too involved.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, at the end of the day, it's entertainment, and they're there to make money. I think,
And that's my concern.
Yeah.
Like, Apple TV is great. They've shown us they're great, but we really haven't seen any good Apple TV shows ever finish yet. They might have the same problem.
What I'm worried about is I don't want them to leave anything up to interpretation. I hate that. The speculation at the end. Give me a definitive answer on something.
I agree.
Exactly. And I
don't leave it up to speculation.
I think we're going to end there. I see it ending one of two ways, right? We either end with a lot of questions that never really get answered.
Yeah.
Or 2, we get answers that end the show poorly, right? That's from both paths. Like, I can't think of any of these like mystery style, like where you're figuring things out on your own, like that have actually ended well. And maybe I'm missing something, but like it's never been done well. We've never seen Apple TV finish a show well because they haven't finished anything really.
No.
So like, what would bring me to think that it's going to be different?
What I am worried about as far as Severance goes is where are they going to go in season 3? Because I feel like we're not going to get a whole lot of on the MDR floor anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going to have to go outside. And
well, also, like, I mean, our main characters are either going to be imprisoned in there, like they're for sure getting punished.
They have to be.
Something happening to them.
I don't know what's going to happen to Helly, but I mean,
also what else?
She'll just never go back downstairs again.
What are they going to have Mark do? His sole purpose is completed.
Yeah, that's it. I just based off of the way that the finale was for season 2, I'm a little bit concerned with where season 3 goes, but I really think that they have like a beginning, middle, and end planned.
I truly hope so. But I think that I would agree with that. I think that they do. But I also think this is a TV show that probably got a lot bigger than they anticipated.
Yeah.
Right? So they're going to want to milk this thing. This is Apple TV's
shining.
Like we're seeing it with Ted Lasso, right?
Yeah.
So we've already seen, hey, we made a perfect ending. So I guess they did make a perfect ending, and then they went back on it, right?
Yeah.
They're making
fair.
another season.
That's
so
true.
Like,
Yep.
what would Severance is good, but the place that they're going to end up to me is scary, and that makes me not as invested in the show compared to something like Daredevil or something like that, who's going to have a season by season arc that will finish well, and if it ends there, it ends there.
Fair enough.
Fair. Anyways, thanks for tuning in to the Severance podcast.
Yeah. We'll cut that one separately. So, discussion topic of the week. Discussion topic of the week. Kind of bleeds in pretty well
heavily
with our movie of the week. So we may kind of combine that a little bit. Movie of the week, as we mentioned earlier, was Tron Legacy. But the discussion is: does Tron Ares lead casting, is that a mistake? We kind of touched it already. Yes.
You guys hate
Jared Leto
a lot more than I do. I don't think he's great by any means. I enjoyed him as the Joker. I think he did fine. I think I enjoyed him as the Joker. The movies that he was in, and the position that he was in those movies were not great, right? But as an actor,
I don't think I agree with you. His performance was fine. What they did with his character wasn't really up to him.
I agree. He doesn't get to write the script. He doesn't get any say in that. He comes and he acts, and I thought he did well. To be honest with you,
he gets an email with the script to his cult island, and he goes and shoots.
Now, you guys are not going to like this either.
He does have a cult island, and that is very strange.
I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm saying that he's a fine actor.
For me, it's like it's. We've had this discussion before. It's separating the art from the artist. I don't know. The dude's just kind of a bad guy.
But yes, okay,
and it just overshadows his performance. I think it's inevitably going to overshadow his performance. And what I'm concerned about is the movie's not going to do well because of that, and then we're not going to get more of this really cool universe that has had good stuff in the past.
I would argue that as successful as like Tron's becoming something, right? Like there's a as a Disney adult, as you guys like to say,
it makes me want to do that ride.
Disney World, Tron, like they made a ride out of this. There's something that wasn't super successful in the box office. Something that,
I mean, you got to be honest. The light bikes, the light cycles, that's just a sick concept. So that had roller coaster written all over it.
Right.
Yeah, that definitely came after the fact.
Yeah. But
man, we got to milk this for something.
To put that on their willingness to put that in to their main park, like think of all the other rides that are in there, right? There's Winnie the Pooh. There's
I think you're missing the point here.
I think
it's a big, like, sure, the ride was always going to be cool, but it's a big risk to put an IP that had never really been successful as the biggest ride in the whole theme park.
I think
that's a big risk, regardless of whether light bikes are cool. But they could have done just as well with, say, a Marvel superhero roller coaster, right? But they chose to do a Tron roller coaster. That takes a lot of guts, and that takes a lot of faith in the property. So,
Tron's IP itself is what sold Tron. People love the idea of what Tron represents, I think, and that's why the IP was so well received. So like we've agreed, Tron 1 is a difficult watch. It's not a good movie.
Again, but it's 50 years old.
Yeah, it's old. It's very old. It's not easy to watch, but people, it's like living off of what Tron was and what it is.
Right, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
So even what I'm trying to say, and maybe I'm not doing it well, is even a bad movie here, they're not going to give up on this franchise. It's a cool idea. It's got so many ways, so many paths that it can take.
I mean, that's
One
what kind of
movie
concerns
is
me.
not going to
What I
finish
think
it off.
Okay, so we've got Jared Leto. He's pretty much only been in movies that have like kind of died, other than Dallas Buyers Club, which I never saw, and also isn't Moneyball.
Well, 2049 was a pretty big success.
Suicide Squad went absolutely nowhere. His version of the Joker, arguably the worst we've ever seen, I think.
I would completely disagree with that. I think he's fine as the Joker. I don't know if you watched Joker 2.
I'm kind of
Okay.
I was gonna just pushing that out of my mind.
disregard the Joker and the Joker 2.
to say that Jared Leto is the worst Joker that we've seen is completely fair and reasonable, but you also have to consider who he's up against. He's against two of the greatest actors we've ever seen. Jack Nicholson, not the golfer. Jack Nicholson was watching The Masters today, so
Mark Hamill?
on my mind.
Sorry.
Jack Nicholson?
Got to add him there.
I mean, I guess if we're talking, I don't count that. We have to see them actually act. We're not just voice acting here.
I count it.
Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger, right? Two fantastic Oscar-winning actors. Yeah, Jared Leto's not as good as them. Okay, but that's completely fine. He doesn't have to be that. He was a fine Joker. That's all I've got. I mean, he's not the greatest actor in the world. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's arguing that.
He's also a pain in the ass method actor.
Yeah, I've heard on set debacles he's had, and he just sounds like he's just super unlikable. See, I don't think anyone's arguing that he's a bad actor.
But all right, so we have the Suicide Squad, not great. Jared Leto.
But that's not his fault.
We have Zack Snyder's Justice League, not great.
He was fine in it though.
We had Morbius.
Stop doing that. You're shaking the table every time you do that.
Hot take. He was fine in Morbius. It was the script. Jared Leto was a fine Morbius. He was a fine vampire. He played it well. The script let him down.
Actually,
Sony
honestly,
let him down.
honestly, before he turns to before he goes to Morbin time,
It's Morbin time.
I don't think. Yeah, I actually kind of found him likable. Like I did, kind of he played a crippled guy who somehow still gets some pretty well.
Yeah. So
Is that your bar for actors?
Yeah.
Give me a crippled guy who gets some.
It's got Aranya or what's her name from Andor in it, and she's a smoke show.
I think that Jared Leto is sleeping with somebody in Hollywood, and that's how he's getting roles. I will go down, watch it come out in 2 or 3 years. That's what's happening.
He's a fine actor who doesn't read his scripts and signs on to bad movies. That's all this is.
Yeah, he's just got a bad agent, I think.
Yeah, he just doesn't pick good movies.
I mean, he's great at making music, terrible at reading.
Which speaks poorly of what Tron Ares is going to look like if all he picks is bad movies. But
Okay, so again, let's go over Tron Ares. 1, I'm very excited for Tron Ares. Give me more Tron. Big fan of Tron. I'm disappointed that it's not following Tron Legacy. I would love to see a continuation of the story. I want to see what happens to Cora and Sam. Bring both of them back. I mean, Olivia Wilde can still pull off Cora.
Yeah.
She really hasn't aged.
Unfortunately, she's also gone the wayside of the Leto boy himself. She's also kind of terrible.
Yeah, she's not great.
I'd be okay with her getting a haircut and being in it again, though. That'd be fine with me.
She's fine. I think she could play Cora again. And then the guy that played Sam, I don't know his name. I like him as an actor. I thought he did fine in Tron Legacy, even though, I mean, we can argue that
I don't know what else he's in.
There are some pieces of Tron that are a little bit cringe here and there. I mean, the weird ending with there's a weird part with Jeff
Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, that he's pulling that little he's pulling back the air to grab Clue.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit weird.
Well, I mean, it's he's the god in on the grid.
He's the god on the grid. He can do whatever he wants to do.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if it really filmed great.
So
but
Garrett Hedlund, actually, I just really put this together. I didn't realize that he's in Tulsa King, the Sylvester Stallone Paramount Plus show that I've actually seen, and I hate to admit I actually am a fan of that show. And he's in it. He plays this country dude who owns a bar that gets wrapped up in some New York mob stuff because Sylvester Stallone moves to Tulsa.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of... So he's kind of teetered on the edge of obscurity for a while now. The same way with that your boy from Valerian has.
I think he was also in Troy, if I remember right. Let me...
Four Brothers, Mudbound, on the
He was
road.
in Troy.
Lawman, Bass Reeves. Yeah, he's teetered on the edge of
Oh, yeah, he was in Triple Frontier, that weird
stardom
Netflix movie where they stole a bunch of money from people.
But no, I would love to see a continuation of the Tron Legacy story.
Yeah. Well, like we talked about earlier, I mean, we've heard rumors and mumblings of the Tron Ascension.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be Tron 3, and it just got dissolved.
Yeah.
nothing
I
happened.
just don't know how they're gonna the whole thing is with Tron in Legacy is that it's Incom and Kevin Flynn, Jeff Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's his company. Sam is the biggest shareholder because it's his son, and Kevin disappears on the grid. So like, how do you get away from having Sam Flynn in there?
I don't know. So like in Tron 1982, Flynn is Jeff Bridges. Flynn is a coder, and then he is working on some games on company time, on company like servers or whatever, and then gets fired for that. Mm-hmm. So it's actually not his company. But then like the whole plot is him trying to prove that the games that were stolen from him that he worked on at Encom
are his.
But honestly, isn't that IP theirs?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
That was my main.
It is so
question
cool
when I'm watching it.
So the whole point of Tron is that it was a video game, and then he like gets sucked into the video game.
It also they named the movie Tron because it sounds cool, not because Tron actually does anything important. The whole movie is just about him going around trying to find the master control program and shut it down and get back out into the real world. And then Tron doesn't talk very much. He doesn't do anything that cool. They ride some bikes around a little bit. Legacy just expands upon that tenfold and makes everything cool.
Yep.
And so I'm just disappointed that we're not getting a direct sequel
We do get
to that.
Edward Dillinger. So Ed Dillinger is in Tron 1.
What?
It's you making that sound when you lean, and then.
No, when you go like this, I can hear a static.
Oh, I thought you were talking to rattle.
No, you can move the thing. It's fine.
Okay.
Thank you for doing that.
So Ed Dillinger is in Tron 1, and we get like a very tiny Cillian Murphy, Edward Dillinger, Gillian Murphy in Tron 2.
Not Gillian.
Gillian Murphy?
Killian.
Sorry, I'm thinking Gillian. I'm thinking Gillian Michaels.
Yeah.
Killian Murphy.
Not the lesbian Biggest Loser.
Anyways, we do get Edward Dillinger. I think that's kind of cool. Point being, I'm excited for Tron Ares. I'm concerned that we're going to get a Jared Leto crap fest.
I think it'll be fine. As long as the script is good, Jared Leto will be fine. Jared Leto will not be the reason this fails. It may still fail. He signs on to bad movies, but he won't be the reason that it's bad.
I don't know how you can make such a finite statement like that without... Yeah, I mean, you have nothing to base it on. I think he very well could ruin the movie. And you have no idea.
Well, we just went through every movie that he's been in, and none of those were his fault. It was the script.
Here's what I will say.
Actor.
My problem, the biggest thing that I'm scared of in this movie is that the split between real world and on the grid is not going to be what we want. The whole reason that Legacy is so cool is because 95% of it takes place on the grid. Yeah. And everything is just sci-fi awesomeness. It's biodigital jazz, man.
It looks like
are we gonna get
mostly
that?
Real world.
Yeah. I am psyched for 9 Inch Nails.
Here's what I'll say. Okay, yeah. 2 things.
Shout out just one dude. Just learned that. Zach told me earlier. 9 Inch Nails is one guy.
9 Inch Nails is just Trent Reznor, and he does everything himself. He records everything. He plays all the instruments. It's really impressive. And then he just hires musicians when he goes on the road.
He's like one of those clown guys in the street that has all of the instruments on him.
9 Inch Nails is doing the soundtrack for Tron Ares, and also 9 Inch Nails did the entire soundtrack for The Social Network. However, Daft Punk did the entire soundtrack for Tron Legacy, and it was incredible, and Daft Punk was in the movie. Second thing I'll say is if we don't get Jared Leto saying it's Tron in time, it's over. Movie's over.
Let's jump fully into Movie of the Week. I think we've answered the question. I don't know. Will he ruin the movie? He could. Probably not, but maybe.
If the movie focuses on the Tron lore and making something biodigital jazz, man, then it's gonna be fucking sick.
Yes.
If it's just focusing on Jared Leto and those sick ass eyes that he's got, then it's going to be bad. Sorry. Also, cut your hair, hippie.
Are you talking to Lance?
No. Sorry, no. I would address him as Disney Adult 1.
Fair.
Alrighty. So, obviously, Movie of the Week, Tron Legacy. We're bleeding between everything today. Tron consumed our entire week.
I watched it twice.
I listened to the
do it
soundtrack
again.
most of today.
I would do it again.
I
It's a great
the,
soundtrack.
Shook the walls with End of Line.
Yeah, you
So-
made some people mad about that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Thank you, Daniel. So my first note is Flynn's de-aging is not good. Arguably the one thing holding Tron Legacy back from being perfect. I stand by that.
Mhm.
It's really the only thing that just jumps out at me as just a teeny tiny flaw that unfortunately will keep people from. It just takes you out of the movie anytime it shows up, with the exception of Clue because he is a program.
Luckily, it only shows Jeff Bridges de-aged really once.
Mm.
It does show him like once in a flashback. Okay, I liked the way that they did the little flashback thing.
Oh yeah,
And
with Tron and Clue.
So the movie assumes that you haven't watched Tron 1 because no one's watched Tron 1 apparently. But it assumes that you haven't seen it. And so it takes you to like a little flashback thing where it shows a bunch of TVs in the ground and like they light up with like news that's happening at the time.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool in a way to like bridge the gap between the years.
Mm-hmm.
There's one part where he's explaining like what Tron is and like the future that's going to happen. That looks like dog shit.
It's not good.
No. No, I agree with you. That is probably one of the only things that hold the movie back from being like absolutely perfect.
So to kind of pull off of what you just said, like that intro where Kevin Flynn gives a speech at the beginning, and it is like the exact opposite of. It's like the inverse of what Clue's entire motivation is. So very small synopsis here. Kevin Flynn gets stuck on the grid.
Well, he discovers the grid.
Yeah.
And then
Well, he discovers that he can
go there.
digitalize himself and be there and create, and like he's essentially coding by
But
himself.
he can't be there all the time. And so he creates Clue, Codified Likeness Utility, which is a direct copy of himself and gives him the prime directive, make the perfect system.
Yes.
While I'm not here, make the perfect system.
Yes.
And as a computer would, it does that to a fault.
Follows it to the T, even to his own demise.
Yeah. And then he gets upset because he's like, you took me too literally, man, but that's why
Yep.
It is what it is.
But Kevin Flynn gets stuck in there. He has an 8-year-old son. That's Sam. Flashes forward. Sam is an adult. Sam has control of his father's company, which is Encom, which was mentioned and heavily entwined into the plot of the first movie. And yeah, so Sam kind of doesn't want anything to do with it. He checks in once a year. He kind of pranks the company every time that he checks in. It's kind of a weird relationship that he has, but he kind of wants to distance himself from anything that has anything to do with his father.
Yeah.
So
Well, he thinks his father just abandoned him.
yes,
He's like, my dad's either dead or he's in Costa Rica somewhere. Probably both.
probably both. But so he stumbles to kind of get the plot rolling. There's a page that is sent from Flynn's video game arcade
to his partner.
to his partner, who is actually the same actor that plays Tron in the original one.
Yep.
And also plays Alan.
Yep.
Who is
His business partner.
his business partner.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's like, the pager, I've slept with it because your dad told me to. And it's crazy because this number's been disconnected for 20 years.
yes, it's a massive plot device, but I mean, it gets the ball rolling.
It does.
So Sam gets, in a roundabout way, sucked into the grid himself. He goes to the arcade, gets sucked in with like the atomizer, digitizer thing, the laser that sends him into the grid. He stumbles around in there and eventually finds himself into the games, which is this gladiator style Roman Empire that Clue has built. And at that point you don't know that Kevin Flynn is in there. You know that he's just gone.
So it kind of explains it a little bit, and I love like the computer terms that it like throws in there. So like de-resolution is like just deletion or like dissolving, right? But in the movie it explains that like Clue, everything in there is a program. Clue can't actually create or destroy anything; he can just repurpose. And so the whole point is that like if you die, you just become part of the army that's in there, like one of his guards or something.
And it's like a roundabout way of him just kind of like recruiting.
Yeah, it's literally recruiting, and it's just entertainment for the whole point is to create a bigger army.
So there's some pretty insane in the games. You have the light cycle racing and like battles and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You also have the disc wars, which is essentially them throwing frisbees at each other.
Yep.
But way cool.
Super cool frisbee
With RGBs. And
everything is super RGB, and it works so fucking well.
It's just great.
The suits are complete RGB with the lasers and stuff, and I would argue that RGB started here.
It definitely could be.
I mean, look behind us, guys.
We like them.
We like them here. But no, the suits look so good. They're real suits. They really do light up, and that wasn't CGI or anything.
No, So the only thing I have connected to that is how the hell did he get his clothes back? I know we're jumping forward a little bit here, but like he sheds his clothes somehow. Like he gets captured, right? He goes under recognizer. He gets dropped off at the games. These 4 program women take his clothes off and give him like a Tron suit.
Yep.
And what the heck happens to his clothes?
They get sucked into the floor.
Right, but like when he leaves.
Oh, when he leaves? Oh, probably an awkward scene with him and Cora. And
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Cora's like, ooh, that's what a wiener looks like. Never saw one of those before.
But yeah, so I mean, it's really cool. At the beginning, also he breaks into NCOM. Sam breaks into NCOM.
Yep.
Similar, exact same scene as 1982 Tron. Cillian Murphy is the villain-ish. Mm-hmm. He's the Dillinger or whatever.
Yeah, he's in the movie for 3 minutes.
Yeah,
he's a great character.
Kills it.
He's only in it for like 3 minutes.
So everything pre the grid in this movie is fine. The only thing that is glaring and just so confusing to me, why the heck did the security guard walk out onto the crane with him?
Oh yeah, no, so there's a part. Okay, so obviously to set up this whole thing, Incom OS 12 is launching, right?
Yeah.
And Sam wants to go and steal it and upload it on the internet for free, which is the way that Kevin, his dad, always thought that stuff should be.
I believe it's like free. A Microsoft satire.
It's Microsoft, right? And so they're releasing their new version of their OS tonight, right? And so Sam breaks in, uploads it to the internet for free, and then you have this guard that's like chasing him around. And this guard is clearly he's a rent-a-cop. I mean,
he's Paul Blart.
He's $15 an hour, and like he makes it to the roof to get away because he's going to jump off the roof with his he's
gonna base jump.
He's gonna base jump off the roof of this building, right? And the cop follows him out on top of this crane that's there because movie, but you're not gonna tell. There's no.
It's gonna be a window washing crane, right? That's the only thing I could think of.
I have no idea what it's there for, other than to base jump off of.
Unless you need a really big piano high up on one of the floors.
I guess. Well, why wouldn't you?
Weird place to put a piano.
But anyways, the cop like walks out onto the crane with him without a jacket or anything on.
I just like how he's like, "Don't worry, I'm your boss."
Yeah, that is kind of funny. He's like, "Your boss is cool with it. Don't worry. He works for the shareholders."
Yeah,
and I'm the biggest shareholder.
Yeah, it's a cool scene.
It's fun.
The only thing that I had a problem with in that like little jumping sequence is he pulled his chute way too late.
He did
way too late. He would be splattered on the concrete.
I also think it's interesting how in every adaptation, whether it's movie, TV show, whatever, and there's a parachute involved, there's always a tree or a pole or something that like it gets caught on.
Something
it happens
to bail him out
in this show too. He gets caught on a pole, and that's how he gets caught.
We're also forgetting about one of the coolest motorcycle scenes in recent cinema history.
Yeah, it's cool.
He is on his Ducati. It's actually his dad's from back in the day. He fixes it up.
Rebuilding it, yeah.
Rebuilds it. And he's like riding through the city with the Daft Punk soundtrack just blaring.
Yep.
It's just it's Son of Flynn is the track in the official soundtrack. Go ahead and listen to that. If I'm on long drives at night, sometimes I put that puppy on.
Do you?
It just sounds so cool.
It's a great album.
Yeah, it stands
great by itself.
He's just like lane splitting through tunnels and across New York and doing all these cool things. Oh wait, actually, is it New York or is he in San Francisco?
Oh,
I don't actually know where it takes place.
I don't know where he's at. I would assume San Francisco because
it felt San Francisco-ish.
There was water.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any water in New York.
We don't know where it is.
There's just homeless people and trash.
Well, is that
Pizza Rat?
Pizza Rats.
Long Island is an island.
No, there's no water in New York.
You're reading into it too much.
Standing on it. I'm standing on it. But yeah, he gets caught by the cops, gets out immediately, and then Alan's like, "Hey, my pager went off. You should go check out the old arcade and see what's going on." And also, everything still works in the arcade, but it's fine. I do think that the laser could have been cooler that sends him into the grid. It kind of just like...
Yeah. Well,
it just kind of... It doesn't really laser him. It kind of just like the aperture
it's
lights
the
up
exact
and-
same. It's like a modern take on the 1982 one because it's the exact same laser.
Mhm.
I believe it'd be cool if it was the original like set prop.
Yep.
But I don't know because like in the 1982 one, he's like anything that gets sucked into the grid is like literally gridified. Like it's
little squares.
hash marks and then takes the individual squares all at once. And that this is kind of all happening in one seamless motion. He gets gridified and then expanded and then he's like...
Yeah, gridified. I like it. He does like just pop into the grid and then he
Yep.
runs outside immediately because he's like, "Oh fuck, I'm not in Kansas anymore."
Yes. Yeah, I love the...
You've got to watch this movie, man.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, sorry.
I love how he's...
Been slacking. I moved. Homeowner now, so I got bigger things to worry about than watching Tron Legacy.
I don't know that
He
there
has an
is bigger
excuse,
things.
it's fine.
When he first shows up on the grid, he's like, "This isn't happening." It's like it's a classic movie. Like, oh, it is happening, but it's delivered so well. I love it. It just throws you right in.
No, it's really cool. I think the suit up scene is really cool. I wrote the suit up sequence is sick. Hello, ladies in white.
I love the suit up scene.
Yeah,
because everything, even the girls' movements are just robotic, like a program.
I think they filmed it back. I think they filmed it like backwards.
Probably.
Yeah, they reversed it.
Or they had a bunch of takes because walking backwards, getting perfectly in like
heels.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's difficult, ladies. You tell us.
Well, they like dock. Like it happens.
Yeah,
a handful of times in the movie. Like some of the programs are like they got like little slots in the wall that they just go stand in.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you're done. Just go over there."
They're just there now. They don't eat or drink or anything.
I mean, it's like the personification of a program. So I mean, I'm not using it. It's gonna just sit here. It's cool.
What else did I put? Rensler, which is just he's like essentially the henchman of Clue. I thought Rensler was super sick. He's Tron, so he gets repurposed, de-resolutioned from the first movie to the second movie now. So he's repurposed as Rensler, as like the badass fighter.
Rensler.
Was he played by the guy by Darth Maul? What's his face?
Oh, I don't know. Ray Park.
Ray Park, yeah. Was Ray Park Rensler? Because he's doing jumps and stuff. I mean, it would almost make sense. I fight for the user.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like Ray Park pops up randomly all throughout.
Well, he had that revenge porn stuff that he did.
No, it's Annie's Chauffeur. Wait, Ray Park did revenge porn?
Yeah, he's like not casted at all anymore.
Oh.
He had this really weird... It was weird. That's all I can say without being too graphic.
Without being too graphic?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways.
Look that up on your own time.
He was really cool as Darth Maul.
It's disgusting.
Unfortunately, made some bad choices.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize they call the ladies in white, they call them sirens.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. They're labeled as Siren 1, 2, 3, 4.
I love Sam's real world house.
Oh, yeah. It's like
made of shipping containers.
Shipping containers on the water.
And it's a garage. He's got a cool dog named Marv.
Cool dog named Marv. That pops up once. I don't really see him anymore.
I mentioned the motorcycle scene already. I mean, it's nowhere near the levels of ad placement, product placement as Blade Runner or really any other large IP like that. But it was a shameless Ducati ad.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There was a couple of those, but really just Ducati. They mentioned it by name. I mean,
I like to think that scene and that bike turned a lot of middle school dudes, high school dudes into motorcycle riders.
Probably.
It made me want a motorcycle. I did get a motorcycle.
What a dark time in Jacob's
It's gone.
life.
I sold it.
I'm getting
Thank
back to the Daft Punk scene, man. So like they make their way to like a bar, for instance, right? Because a lot of things happen in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, they go to someone that has a lot of information, and they're trying to get out of off the grid. And they get to this bar, and Daft Punk is there.
Well, they go to Zeus's bar.
And they go to Zeus's bar, and like they're playing like in the bar, and Daft Punk has the helmets on, so like they clearly look like they belong there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually like making. I mean, they're playing the music in the movie. It's incredible.
Well, it's Michael Sheen. He's just so is Zeus. That's who Zeus is.
Yeah.
I really like his character because he's
thought he
got
was
this
a
cool
little bit
cane
eccentric,
that's also a gun.
Oh yeah, he has a gun cane.
That was sick.
I think he was a little bit eccentric, but also I think that's probably what the character.
I mean,
called for.
by design for sure.
Yeah. But no, the bar scene was really cool. You have army guys like rappelling in off of like they have like butterfly wings on them, but they're like laser butterfly wings. Everything in this movie looks cool. It all looks good.
Like, I would almost compare Zeus to the Matrix. What is the
Merovingian?
Yes, the Merovingian. Just kind of the dude that knows stuff. We got to get there. He's going to help us, but actually he doesn't. And he's bad.
He's mad, and he's made a deal with the devil.
Yes, it's the same. It's the same exact. It's.
Well, you find that like essentially, not to like spoil too much, but obviously you have a character that like knows everything, and he's like the 1 to the 0 that is Clue, right? So like it's equal parts shitty person on both sides.
Yeah.
So like naturally, you wouldn't really have a movie if it ended there, and so like he doesn't find what he's looking for.
He keeps rolling.
He keeps rolling, and you get more light cycle stuff.
Oh, the light cycle thing in the games was so cool. The 3D moves they were doing, they were ramping over each other.
The light bikes, and I like how they make the little doop 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 like noises and stuff when they go around the curves.
Oh yeah, the sound design. I mean, soundtrack even beyond that. The sound design in this was phenomenal.
It was great.
I mean, you truly have to watch this movie on the biggest screen that you have or can find, and with the loudest, most clear speakers you can also find.
So I started watching everything with. I bought a set of AirPod Maxes just for my Apple TV. I love it. You just get so immersed.
So little autistic.
No, you get so immersed with sound. It's incredible. So
I agree. The Apple AirPod Maxes, or I have the Apple Beats Pro Maxes.
Yeah,
and those sound fantastic.
I'm a Sony WH-1000 MXs.
Okay. MKBHD. Anyways, for
sound canceling,
immediately pairing, it's so cool with all.
I mean, it's a seamless thing.
If you're in the Apple ecosystem, you're not getting a better like seamless pair and great sounding headset than the AirPod Maxes. However, I bought them just to watch movies and things with. I don't take them anywhere else. They are there for my television, and it sounds great.
Agreed.
The movie sounds great. Anyways, so you meet up later with Clue. He tells you kind of like his grand master plan. The whole point is that Kevin has been sucked into the I keep wanting to say the Matrix.
Yeah.
He got sucked into the grid. He can't get off.
He's on the grid.
And if everybody has a data ring, right? If the data disk gets stolen, that's like the key to unlocking everything in the grid. And so he doesn't want to have Clue. That's his master key. He can't let him steal that.
The ultimate goal is to get that away from Clue and to get Sam and Kevin and Cora out of the grid.
Yes,
they're making the way to the IO port.
Feels like he has been neglected in the grid, and he's like, you've been holding the real world to yourself and not letting us have a piece of it. So now we're taking an army and we're going out into the real world. I do think they'd get swamped in a second by the U.S. military.
That's the exact yin and yang thing I was talking about earlier. So like at the beginning, Kevin Flynn is giving a speech talking about how the grid is the final frontier, and that is the ultimate. Like, we need to go there and pioneer all of this bio-digital space.
Yep.
And dedicates his life to that. Clue is the exact opposite. He says dang near the exact same speech, but in a more Hitler, I'm gonna go murder everyone way.
Yep.
Like,
this is ours.
They are on the grid. They were made on the grid, created on the grid, and they want to get out. They want to go to the real world, and he says it exactly the way Kevin does. Like, it's their destiny to become part of the real world.
I mean, I'm assuming they did it on purpose, but yeah, he gives the exact same speech, but in reverse.
It's totally intentional, but I just love it. Yep. It's a great tie. It just kind of wraps everything together.
But yeah, anyways, long story short, the movie is I think it's probably a solid 8.5, 9 out of 10 for me. must watch. I wouldn't say it's perfect. It's pretty damn close to perfect.
Mhm.
Go watch it.
I do have one question.
Yep.
Why is it dark? Why not Coda's sun?
Oh, it is interesting because Korra does ask Sam the question, "What does the sun
What's
look
the sun like?" He
What does
also
it feel
asks. She asks him if he knows Jules Verne, and he's like, "Yeah, I know Jules Verne." And she's
Oh.
like, "What's he like?"
What's he like? Yeah. No, she acts like. I mean, because she's like a kind of a child, right? Because
Aside from the cool like LEDs
That's what I
and
was gonna
lights,
say. I
is
think
that
you're
like?
missing the point of it's cool.
yeah,
Right? Like,
I'm not
it's
missing the
cool.
point. I'm just like,
I think
I do wish there kind of was maybe some sort of plot explanation. Yeah.
I mean, I think that I would expect if it was a computer, because I think about like the back rooms in the Matrix where everything's white.
Mhm.
I kind of expected it to look to be white, right? However, it wouldn't look as cool.
It makes
with
sense.
all
All
the
the
light,
too. I mean, it's just I guess two extremes of the.
the light cycles, and
spectrum.
the RGBs and all that good stuff. It just wouldn't look as cool. I'm sure that's probably why, because movie.
I don't really have a problem with it. It was just like, I wonder why.
I don't know. I bet there's an answer out there. I bet there's an answer somewhere.
I did notice a small detail, and I'm sure obviously intentional. Everything is intentional. All the programs move very robotically because they are programs.
Yep.
All of the ISOs, Korra
Mhm.
moves just like a human.
Yeah.
Like very fluidly, very kind of nonchalant, casual. I just an interesting detail.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. The whole point is Clue and Kevin Flynn are developing the grid, right? And then out of nowhere, they like look behind them, and all these people are walking up, and he's like, "What the hell is all this?"
Yeah, in the movie they call it the Great Miracle.
The Great Miracle. Essentially, life just spontaneously happens inside there, and those are the isomorphic algorithms that pop up.
The
And
ISOs.
with this knowledge of this new cool thing, you can eradicate disease and get rid of all your problems, because essentially these people are just pieces of code that you could then transfer to humans.
There are huge video game elements in the movie that are just kind of beyond Tron as the light cycle game. Like, the whole thing is being played. It's like a mental game between Clue and Kevin.
Yep.
And they constantly talk about it being like a chessboard. They've added more pieces to the board.
Oh yeah,
like taking things away. Like Korra sacrifices herself, kind of ish in a way, towards the end
to save Sam.
But it's actually to eliminate her from the equation.
Yep.
To kind of throw Clue's whole plan off. So I like very cool elements throughout. Like,
we aren't a big math podcast, but there are a lot of ones and zeros.
A lot of ones and zeros. Big binary guys.
Yeah, in this movie. But
yeah,
highly recommend it.
Watch it.
Tron Legacy. It's good.
Lance included.
Yes, I will get on that. But now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 20 questions.
20 questions.
Here we go.
And then stick around because we're going to be piloting 7 bonus games. Whichever ones you like, let us know on whatever social you want. And then we're also going to be piloting them on TikTok and YouTube as well. So make sure if you like these,
let us know in the comments.
Comment, let us know, and we'll keep playing them.
If you want us to play something specific or you have any suggestions, leave us a comment.
Yeah, but we'll start with good old 20 questions, and then we'll go into 7 extra games after that.
20 questions. All right, you always start, but I want to start.
Do it.
Is it an animated movie?
Yes.
Oh, we are off to a good start, ladies and gentlemen.
Should we ask if it's a Disney movie?
I think so.
Is it a Disney movie?
No.
Okay, it is animated, not Disney.
Okay, so that means that it pretty much has to be
Pixar or Pixar. No, that's Disney. DreamWorks, I would say.
Oh, DreamWorks.
But honestly, he may not even know that.
I can find that answer.
That would narrow it down. Is it a DreamWorks movie?
No.
What the hell?
What other?
And just like that, we're out of 3 questions.
What's the one with the lamp that bounces?
That's Pixar.
Around? Is that Pixar?
But that's a Disney company.
Are you considering Disney and Pixar to be the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, did that count against my questions?
No.
Okay.
Did that count against your question?
How many questions did we get, guys?
Literally called 20 questions.
Is it about humans?
No.
Okay. Animated movie. Has this movie come out in the last 10 years?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at different
Are
animated.
you cheating?
I'm looking at what other companies out
literally
here.
cheating.
Okay, I don't. If it's not DreamWorks, and it's not Disney Pixar,
I wonder if it's like Studio Ghibli.
I didn't even. Oh, there's another one. It's a big one. We didn't think about it. Pixar. Wait, did you already say Pixar?
That's the we
It's
just
part of
had.
Disney. You need to put that
Okay.
away. That is cheating.
Whoa, we can see your chest. Ugh.
Whoa. Okay, so it's not Disney.
But that's crazy that we took out those two absolute behemoth ones and haven't gone any closer.
And it's not about humans.
Animated.
No. Here's
Is
all for.
is is the movie about? I don't even know what to. I want to ask, like, is it about cars or bugs or like?
Those are Disney movies.
Yeah,
Oh man.
because I'm thinking Cars 1, Cars 2. I'm thinking
Within the last 10
A
years,
Bug's
it's
Life?
animated. I think maybe we go genre then.
okay.
Is it a kids movie?
No.
Okay.
I'm not good at animated movies.
Was
Is it-
this movie launched on a streaming service?
No.
Is this movie based on Earth?
Like, is it take place on Earth?
Yeah.
Yes. 7.
10 and we get a hint, right?
I mean, it feels like you guys were pretty close, so I'll try to give you a hint.
Okay.
As a
Is
guess.
this part of a universe franchise?
I think that it technically is.
Oh, fuck.
I think
so
that
that-
it technically is, but it's nothing major. But I think that it is or is going to be. Yes.
Is it based on a book?
Not to my knowledge. at
We're at
least.
9.
Okay.
Is it... Well, now you've really stumped me here. It's not a Disney.
It's not Disney. It's not Pixar.
Last 10 years is kind of throwing me off, too.
Last 10 years. It's not about humans.
Are the main characters animals?
No. I don't remember. Here's your hint. I don't remember if you came with us, but it was seen in theaters by me and people that we were friends with.
In the last 10 years.
Last 10 years.
It's on Earth.
Is it a stop-motion movie?
No. 9 questions left.
I think, is he going to get us on this one?
No. The
Wait, was Disney, did it make Sausage Party? Or like what production company did Sausage Party? Is it like one of the random ones?
I don't think it was any of those that we've mentioned.
Was the movie based upon food?
Yes.
Is the movie Sausage Party?
It is sausage.
What a pull! What a pull!
Yes.
Hell yeah!
Mr. White!
All right.
And the reason I
Fuck
believe,
yeah, Mr. White!
I believe there is a Sausage Party TV show either coming out or is
Okay,
already
that
out. So,
I'm glad that
There's
you
definitely a Sausage Party 2.
Yeah, I'm glad that you kind of were like
I don't think there was a Sausage Party 2.
I think so.
Really?
I think there's sausage. Yeah, I think
There's
so.
a TV show coming out for sure.
oh, Sausage Party 2, it's an animated thing. That's
Okay.
what or I mean the television.
Oh yeah, Sausage Party is Foodtopia. Sausage Party 2 comes up with Foodtopia, which
Okay.
came out last year.
which
And
is
it's a television
so
show.
the
Yes,
funniest
and
thing
it's
about
cool.
Sausage Party is that if you didn't, it's an animated TV show, right? It reminds me of like VeggieTales, for instance. And like, god
yeah,
damn
it's
it,
like
if you brought your kids or like thought that was a thing,
they're going to get some wholesome Christian material
are
here.
gonna get very disappointed very quickly with what happens in this movie.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
All
All right,
well,
Lance,
All
learn.
right, so
Out
this
of my
will be a
ass.
little bit of a learning curve. We'll have to.
No, let's
I'll
tell 'em
explain
goodbye.
these. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Before we do that, well, you shouldn't be leaving, but if you are,
Stick around for the bonus stuff if you want. If not, if you're taking off, thank you for listening. It was a little bit of a rough one today because Lance didn't watch the movie. I think at times it was a bit of a struggle.
We pretty much just geeked out about Tron the entire time.
We geeked out about Tron the whole time, but that's okay. Go watch Tron Legacy. It'll make your life better. We'll see you guys next week.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Bye.